So yes, today I'm wearing a wig because it's fun. And I'm wearing glasses to make myself look smarter. Because only smart people talk about stuff like this, clearly. So I was learning some really interesting things in my course. I just studied addiction, like substance abuse or alcohol, that kind of thing. And I want to teach you guys, but not in 4.5 hours. I'm going to try and wrap this up as short as I can, because I really think it's important for people to understand this, because it's freaking interesting, and it might help you respect others a little more, or respect yourself a little more. And yes, the glasses are down because I'm blind when I... yeah. Okay, so I don't have a black pen. I mean, I do, but I don't have no idea where it is. So, here's, you know, your head. And your pretty neck. Here is, you know, obviously it's smaller, but that's the where you keep your where your neurotransmitters are in your brain. Okay, so then there's this neurotransmitter thing, and usually, for most people, it's full. It's full of neurotransmitters, and what these neurotransmitters do is they make you feel good. They make you feel satisfied, happy, okay in your life. It keeps your mood up. But for some people, we're just going to pretend that their neurotransmitters are in the middle of their head for some reason. It's like, say, half empty. So instead of being full and maybe like saying, what the example they gave was a billion neurotransmitters of all kinds of, there are seven kinds that she mentioned, neurotransmitters. Instead of being a billion, it would be like, say, 500 million. Okay? So 500 million neurotransmitters. And since it makes you feel good, here you're not so good. And is this something that you just develop later? No, you're born with it. And it can be 7 generations back. So if your parents had it, you're very likely to have it. You're really likely to have this, what they call now, brain disease. And so the brain disease is basically that you don't have enough neurotransmitters to keep your mood up, right? So generally, like, you wouldn't notice really in a baby when you're born, but they're born with it, you wouldn't notice. But when they get to about, like, say 7 or 8 years old, is it backwards in this in the camera? Oh, that sucks. Sorry, it blows. No, that's even not the same thing even. PG-18. Okay, once you're about 7 or 8 years old, you start to feel that you're a bit different than other people. Why? Because they seem like they're happier. They seem like they're more content. They seem less anxious. They seem all this stuff because you have half, and you don't have enough of what it takes to be content and happy. So when people say happiness is a choice and you should just like buck up or something like that, or just like, I don't know, like there are moments, like I think it was what the bucket said this, there are moments when he could be down, obviously, but you know, pick yourself up and you know, just be happy, like it's your choice, like just have an overall good mood. But it's not possible for everyone, because they have this, they're born with half of the neurotransmitters. Okay. And so, let's say if you go to the hospital, or you have some kind of an operation, and you each get morphine, okay? The person with enough neurotransmitters isn't going to need morphine, feel the need to have morphine afterwards. But the one that had half is like, you know what, I feel so much better, and you know, they get dependent. They have to, you know what, I have to have it, and they take more and more until they get so dependent that their neurotransmitter, and every time their neurotransmitters go up. So let's say instead of having 500 million, they have like 250 million. This is really well done. They have 250 million more. So then when they go off the morphine after a while, and it can last a while because the neurotransmitters, they can last for quite a while, and then they go down, but then you need more, so you take more morphine, and after a while it gets to be you need more and more and more. Like, I think that most people know that you need more and more and more. which is the same with any other drug. So that's like why some people can be drug addicts and other people can be drug users, like occasional drug users. If this person, say, uses cocaine or weed or whatever occasionally, why aren't they addicted? Because they have enough. And if they take cocaine and it does get that initial high, but when it goes down, their neurotransmitters are still the same. They didn't get more neurotransmitters and feel super happy, like elated or anything, because it stays the same. For them, the drugs or whatever doesn't create more neurotransmitters in the normal person. Okay? But it does in the person that doesn't have enough neurotransmitters, that has this brain disease. So if they take the drugs, they will get addicted, because they're like, you know what, if they have this feeling and they were feeling so bad before, and they're like, you know what, this feels really good, so obviously they're going to take it again. You want to be happy. You want to feel good. Instead of feeling like you have half your neurotransmitters. So I mentioned earlier, a lot of people know that you have to take more and more and more as time goes on in order to keep that feeling. But as time goes on, sorry, I just knocked the tripod. As time goes on, you get less and less neurotransmitters. So instead of having half a billion, eventually you might end up with, like, say, it's backwards, 10,000 neurotransmitters, and I'm pretty sure at that point you feel like shit. And your brain just, even if you keep taking the drugs and taking the drugs, your brain isn't going to make more neurotransmitters. It's been kind of ruined by the drugs. So you started off with half a billion, and to feel better you wanted to go up, but you actually ended up going down. And the only way to fix this is to stop taking the drugs, which is easier said than done, obviously. It needs extensive work and years. But it can be done, and in that time the brain can sort of, it regenerates. And it won't regenerate to be full. It will go back to that half a million. But half a million will feel pretty good compared to 10,000, right? But there are foods, apparently, that can help increase the neurotransmitters. And, you know, it's not like drugs or anything, but it doesn't, and it doesn't, like, deplete your neurotransmitters and make them go down to 10,000. The foods will actually help. I think I explained that correctly. It just explains why it is that some people, you know what they say, drug addicts, it's, you know, they're deadbeat junkies, and they have, like, the, you know, low moral characters or something like that. It really has nothing to do with it, because anybody in that situation, wouldn't you want to feel better? Wouldn't you want to do something? And once you have that, you just lose control. And it's the brain disease. And they explain it as addiction to drugs not being the disease, but being a symptom of the disease. The disease is this, is the lack of the neurotransmitters. This is the disease. This is the brain disease. And the addiction or to drugs or alcohol, that's a symptom. That's because of it. And so I really just want people to understand themselves and understand others, because there's such a low opinion of them. You know, deadbeat junkie, you know, all these kinds of phrases. But these are just people who need help. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you understand things better. Bye.